Hey guys, and welcome to the channel. My name is Asi and I'm the owner of Creations Remodeling. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to build an ADU. To whoever one of you that's planning to do a new build, a custom home, an ADU in the backyard, I'm going to guide you from the day one until the finished product. In the next 5 months, me and my team going to build behind me 1,700 square feet custom ADU. So we're going to guide you throughout the process. So the next time you're thinking about building an ADU, the process will be easier than ever. So let's dive into it. It's hard to picture now, but in just few months, this empty lot will become a beautiful custom home. Follow along as we compare the 3D design with the real property and bring it to life. The 3D rendering in the corner shows exactly what the property will look like once construction is completed. So the most common mistake that homeowners do when they choose an architect for a project like this, it's they looking for somebody that's going to be more budget friendly. Now, the problem is that most of the time when you get budget-friendly architect, sometimes they either very busy and they take in many jobs at the same time, or they just not experienced enough to deliver a good quality results. So the most important things you should do for your project is to hire the right architect. The architect you choose for the project, this is exactly how the project will look like. How should you prevent yourself from issues with an architect? It's also by the way you guys decide on the agreement. So the way the payments should look like with an architect, it will definitely not supposed to be 80% before he submitted to the city or 90% before the plans get approved. You always want to make sure that the payment's going to be comfortable for you and comfortable for the architect at the same time. Always keep in mind that the best way is to keep at least 25-30% for the end of the process, meaning when the plans get stamped by the city and completely approved. Because sometimes architects get really busy with other work, and once they have 80% of the balance or 90% of the balance, they will start create delays in your project. So that's one of the most important things, to make sure that the way you create the payment, you're both comfortable with and you're both in the position that you understand each other. The process with the architect usually is supposed to take about 3 to 4 weeks until you guys make the decision of the design, of the layout. Sometimes it can take more, depends on the project. And then once everything gets approved, when you submit it to the city, it's going to be a lot of back and forth with the city. For example, you have the plans ready, you submit everything to the city, they will come back to you with comments and changes that you need to apply to the existing plans. Then you have to have your architect and sometimes your engineer work on it at the same time, bring it back to you to upload everything back to the city. So a process like this sometimes can take 7 months, sometimes even a year. In this project, I had some issues with the architect I chose for the work. Usually I work with many different architects and engineers on daily basis. But because it's my property, I decided to save. The main issue with the architect was the communication, the payment schedule, the design and everything he promised to deliver, and he never did. On top of this, he made the foundation of the job extremely more expensive. He made the roof extremely more expensive. It didn't create any drainage system around the house. And the overall of the communication create a lot of delays from beginning to end. So in order for you to avoid those mistakes, I recommend you the first and the most important things you need to consider when you start working with an architect, with an engineer. It's to make sure that you feel comfortable with the way they present their scope. You don't want to start a job with somebody a little bit cheaper and then later on during the process, he will make your project more expensive. So regardless of what's going to happen and the price you pay to him, your project will be way more expensive, way more pricey, and create for you an extra delays that eventually will lead into material price increase, labor price increases, and a lot of more mistakes that can come up later down the line. Then I decided to kind of like go a different route and get another architect that I usually work with, and I needed to put additional $7,000 into the plans. In that case, I got very lucky, and the best advice I can give you guys, it's whenever you decide you want to get plans, do not go with the cheapest bid. Do not go with somebody you never worked with before. Always choose somebody you can trust, somebody that can actually do the work. Prices I got for this project was between the $15,000 all the way to the $30,000 for plans alone for architect and engineers together. Sometimes they will include engineering, sometimes it's going to be outside of the package. So depends on the square footage of the home, depends of the details you guys going to have. Project like this can go between 15 to 30 if it's a standard size home. It can go 30 to 100 if it's going to be a big custom home. If you choose a good architect, you will get a better work, no delays. If you choose a bad architect, this is kind of like how your project will look like. And this is the most important step you can do in this entire process. It's to choose the right architect. Once you submit the plans, once everything is ready with the architect, you give him the green light, he will make for you kind of like a first set of plans. The first set of plans need to go into the city. So what you do with it, there is a portal, you need to create your account, you need to put your password, email, all those kind of things. In that case, I was working with the city of La Mesa, a very easy portal, at least with them. So then you just upload all the stuff, all the necessary stuff. What is revision? Revision, it's when you submitted the plans and then the city starts getting back to you with different comments. So you need to change this, you need to change this, you need to show us where the garbage goes, where how far this is gonna be from the street. Sometimes they will send you kind of like forms that you need to fill out and send back to them. Make sure everything is all together when you submit it, because they want to see all the file together. Sometimes when you submit every file separately, they will just lock it, and then you have to go to them directly, or you need to email them, hey, please unlock it so we can upload more files. Every time they give you comments, in that case, in the beginning, we had 60 comments. Then we upload everything they requested, and then they came back with 30 comments. And then you upload everything, they came back with 14 comments. Every time you upload things, they're going to approve and you're going to see it on the portal. It's very organized. Usually, it's take them about 2 weeks to get back to you. So every time you upload a file, it's going to take about 2, sometimes 3 weeks, depends on the holidays. And then they're going to give you the final approval once everything is there and once you pay the final fees. So let's break down and get the actual cost of how much I paid to get this ready to go plans by the city of La Mesa. So architect, $15,000. For me, it was a little bit more. Hopefully, it's not going to happen to you. It can get more if your build is going to be bigger and with more details, of course. So for an average house, this is kind of like the price, $15,000, $20,000. Some of them will include engineering. Some of them will be architect plans only. City fees, I paid $9,000 by the end. Title 24, 400. To dig the hole for me was $2,000 and $2,000, total of $4,000. To get the soil report was $5,000. And to get the school fee was $5,000, almost close to $6,000. So the total cost of my plans was close to $40,000. Was $39,400 for the entire things I need to get in order to get this set of plans. Once you have the plans, please make sure you print them so you have a full set of plans. Print one for yourself and at least another one for your contractor, whoever going to do the job. Some people even print 3 of them, one for the framer, one for the foundation guy. So you go to printing company or a printing business, usually they will charge you about $70 all the way to $80 with color. So that's important. Keep in mind that by getting this is not the only thing you need in order to get everything ready to go. It's 2 things or 3 things you need to consider. One is going to be the connection to the sewer that can be extremely expensive. Luckily for me, I have it on my lot, so I don't really need to involve the city. I just need to show them where the connection is going to be and connect it to the existing house I already have on the lot. Now, another thing you guys need to keep in mind. If you guys need to connect your house to different water meter, that's going to cost a lot. For example, I need to connect it to a new water meter. So I'm going to be connected to Helix Water District and they're going to charge me $30,000 just to connect a new meter in. Now, they not allow you to hire your own plumber or your own builder. They don't trust builders or contractors to touch their water system. So they will want to hire their own licensed contractor that can actually open and connect everything properly. So in my case or anybody else's case, somebody that want to build an ADU and connect it to additional water meter or separate it from the existing house, you would need to pay at least $30,000. In some cases, it might be $40,000. So they will charge you $30,000, $40,000, whatever they want to charge you up front. They will actually give you the estimate 2 to 3 weeks later when they actually send somebody to the property. Another thing you need to consider is to work with SDG&E on your electrical. Some people connected to the existing house. Again, it really depends of in which direction you want to go. For example, in this case, I decided to separate everything completely. So I wanted to create additional panel. It's already on the plans. So you would need to submit a new project request, make an account online, and tell them the specific of what kind of appliances you're going to have in the house, solar panels, how many solar panels, you know, if you're going to have a EV car or a EV car connection in your garage, all those specific you need to put on the form, and then they will contact you to kind of like send somebody over to kind of like start working on the process, give you a price. With that being said, thank you guys for watching Creations Home Remodeling. Again, my name is Asi, and I hope it will help you for whenever you guys going to be ready to do an ADU or a new build. And stay tuned for the next video because we're going to talk about foundation, framing, stucco, windows, all the way until the project will be completely done. And behind me, it's going to be 1700 custom ADU. Thank you again and stay tuned for the next video. Pow!